gonna go nap before the event, but I mean, 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, cool. All right. So let's do that. So Gordon, tell me about yourself. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what got you into jiu-jitsu. And the all-around sport of wrestling, right? Submission wrestling.
Okay, yeah. You know, I'm Gordon Ryan originally from New Jersey. Now I'm living in New York, training at Penfield Gracie Academy in New York City with John Danaher. What got me into jiu-jitsu is actually a really funny story. I used to go to this daycare center, and the guy who was our teacher never really did any martial arts or trained like a basketball player. But he used to watch UFC, and he would like listen to Joe Rogan commentate moves. And he would like come into the daycare, and he would show us like submissions. He's like, here's a kimura, here's an arm bar, here's a choke, and he's like, give it a try. So we would like drill these moves as kids in the daycare, and he'd be like, all right, well now you have to do it. So like we'd just all circle up and we'd fight each other. Like we'd have like grappling matches in the daycare. So I did this from like the ages of like, I don't know, 6 or 7 to 12, 13. And then I was shopping one day with my mom, and I saw like a jiu-jitsu school owned by Ricardo Almeida's, one of Ricardo Almeida's brown belts at the time. And I started training there at 15, and then ever since then, I've just been, in love with, always in love with, fighting and combat sports. But after I started training, it was pretty much all history from then.
Okay. Now, how have you benefited from the sport? What have you learned? How has it helped you grow?
Jiu-jitsu overall just gives you a lot of confidence. Not really fearing like everyday problems. Like how you're going to handle your bills is not really a big an issue when you have to worry about someone trying to break your arm every day.
Yeah.
So it just gives you an overall confidence in life and kind of helps you deal with, helps you problem solve a little bit better, I would say. And for me, it's I made my career off this. I base my life around jiu-jitsu. So for me, it's pretty much my entire life.
Yeah. So what do you want to give back to the sport in the long run? Like, at the end of the day, when they remember Gordon Ryan, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be remembered?
Well, it's my personal legacy as an athlete that obviously I want to build, and I want to be by far the most accomplished submission grappler of all time. And then just giving back, I want to push the sport forward. I want to we make the instructional to teach seminars. I want the overall level of the sport to increase from where it's at now, because I believe that the sport's very young, so the overall technical level in the sport is pretty low relative to other sports like wrestling or judo. Like for example, once you get like out of the top 10 guys in each weight class, the skill level drops off drastically. Whereas if you look at a sport like judo, like Japan has 10 guys that are all like Olympic level guys, like just on one team. Never mind just the whole world. So the overall level, I think, I want to try to increase that in the sport by just sharing what we've discovered, and getting the sport to a position where athletes can actually make real money competing. And no, you don't have to own a gym in order to make a living. You don't have to have sponsors. Where athletes should just go out and compete once or twice a year and make enough money to live, $200, $300, $400, $500, $1 million.
What do you think? How can we infuse jiu-jitsu, wrestling, the submission aspect of the sport into our society better? Do we need to get kids started at a younger age? Because you see karate schools, they're still around, right?
I think you need to build athletes to be submission hunters. I think is the main thing. If you look at boxing, what does everyone want? Everyone wants to see knockouts.
Yeah.
So in our sport, submissions are the equivalent to knockouts in boxing. No one wants to see people going out and fighting for advantages. That's not exciting. So you have to be exciting in one way or the other, either on the mats or off the mats. Notoriously, guys like Floyd Mayweather has skills to back up what they say, in the ring or on the mat, whatever the case is. But he's also exciting outside the mat. Like McGregor has the skills to actually beat people inside the cage, but he's very entertaining outside the cage. So it needs to be entertaining in some way, whether it's outside the cage or mat, or inside the cage or mat or ring or whatever, wherever you're fighting. And people who are most remembered are people who have both, who have the skills to actually perform and are exciting outside of the mat as well.
Yeah. So tell me about We Defy. How does Gordon Ryan and We Defy, how's that puzzle come together?
Honestly, I met some cool guys in Reno that I did a seminar for, and they're a big part of this foundation called We Defy. And I've always been, for helping veterans, for for getting veterans back into the swing of things, and they go out and they fight to protect us. So I'm more than happy to help those guys out. Like for this event, I think we're giving 100% of ticket sales to the We Defy. I was out in Reno a few months ago and I taught a seminar. Like a last minute kind of seminar. I just showed up and it was like a foundation, or it was like a fundraiser where it was like open mat. People just showed up and they donated to We Defy, and I showed up. I showed a few moves here and there. So anything I can do to help these guys out is easy enough for me.
So as a vet myself, I became an ambassador for We Defy not that long ago in an effort to try to spread the word down here in South Florida and make it grow like in other states, right? So have you found, what's the best part of that We Defy organization that you see it helping veterans with?
I think Jiu-Jitsu is a really good tool to be able to kind of almost distract you from whatever problems you have in your life. Some days like you can feel like your life is falling apart, and then you go into Jiu-Jitsu and
forget about all that stuff, right?
Yeah, and you have to. I mean, someone's trying to, someone's jumping side to side trying to pass your guard, someone's trying to choke you, someone's trying to break your leg. Like all of your problems have to go away because you have to deal with the immediate danger to your life that's happening right now. So I think it's a great way to kind of block out all of your problems for that 1 to 2 hour block every day, and that makes a big difference. It kind of relieves a lot of stress and puts you in a good place.
Awesome. Tell me about yourself. I know you're competing on the card as well.
Yes. Well, I'm Nathalia Santoro. People know me as Hey Sunny. I don't do jiu-jitsu for too long. I started jiu-jitsu like 4 years ago.
Okay. With
these guys, Danaher at Hansel Grace Academy in New York too. So since I'm a white belt, I train with these guys and the way they train. So the jiu-jitsu I know is the jiu-jitsu they taught me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. I had 4 competitions like in a big stage.
Okay.
So I'm getting more comfortable right now.
Sure.
Very different the level that Gordon, of course, but
you're traveling with monsters, right? You're traveling with Gordon, you're traveling with Nikki, right? So
travel everywhere with them, teaching seminars everywhere, recording instructional, and every single day around with these guys. So I feel like I must try to also to compete, in the same level, because all I do is being around these guys all the time. I train Gordon, for those who don't know, and give diet plan, and I just take care of his nutrition and health. So I'm literally 24 hours with him.
Fantastic.
So I feel like I might as well just try jiu-jitsu, right? As a professional athlete too, because that's what I do every day.
And how have you found jiu-jitsu to help you? Do you find find the love in jiu-jitsu? You found it already?
I really did. Yeah, it's also frustrating because it's still very hard for me. Sometimes you feel like you know everything, like you're getting good, and some other days you feel like, oh my god, I don't know nothing at all. What are you even doing here? It's just so frustrating. Before jiu-jitsu, I used to be a bodybuilder, so I'm a professional bodybuilder for about 10 years.
Okay.
And that lifestyle is very different. It's more a quiet lifestyle, an isolated lifestyle. We have a lot of restrictions. You cannot be sitting around here and go eat, lunch with your friends. You have everything. Your diet is different. Your time, everything is more selfish.
Sure.
So I isolate myself for a long time, for literally 10 years. With bodybuilder, which was great, but then after a long period, I got so tired and frustrated. I was like, I need to meet people, I need to get around people. And jiu-jitsu is this big community, right? It's a big family.
People that want to strangle you and try to break your arm.
But then after that, after all, they are friends,
Sure, at the end of the day, right? It's a big family.
So I like that. It's like we are trying to kill each other at that moment, but after that, we kind of trust each other, because that trust that you can hurt me, but you won't hurt me, and then after that we shake hands and you go out to eat something, to have a lunch or something. That type of thing, it was missing in my life when I was doing bodybuilding, and that's what I think the jiu-jitsu brought to me.
Let me ask you, because we've had this question posed to us before, training with a different sex partner, right? How do you guys manage that? Do you find that a little intimidating, or you're just looking to learn, or Gordon, how do you feel when you're, potentially not pressure passing, but you are significantly heavier than Nathalia, and if you guys are training together, how do you manage that?
Believe it or not, I actually prefer, she's like my main drilling partner. Like when we go to Henzo's, when we have to drill moves, at the beginning of class, she's my main partner. She's who I work with most. Number one, just because I'm lazy, I don't like to move heavy guys. I don't like to move heavy guys around.
Makes sense.
And number two, because when you're drilling with someone smaller, you have to be like every movement has to be more precise, so you don't like off balance here or do something wrong and hurt them there. So everything has to be very precise when you're moving around. And when we train together, it's more about for me, different for obviously. For me, it's more about handicapping myself because obviously it's not just with her; it's with anyone smaller or anyone not as good as me, which nowadays is most people. But it's about putting myself in bad positions. Maybe she gets to my back and I let her put me in a fully locked back triangle or fully locked arm bar, and I try to roll out. Maybe I'm putting myself in fully locked heel hooks and trying to come forward and fight the hands. So it's more about handicapping myself and working on things that I need to work on. For example, like I have one dominant side with arm bar escapes. Like one side I can roll out much better than the other side. So maybe it's about forcing her to pick one arm and to try to work on the things that I need to improve. So for me, it's mostly about with females and with people who are a lot smaller than me. It's all about handicapping myself.
How about you, Nathalia? How do you feel rolling with Gordon? How does that difference in size affect you?
It does. It's very tiring for sure, and also Gordon does everything so precisely. But also he's a good teacher, so he knows how to make things difficult for me in a way that I can figure out and find a solution for that problem. He kind of addressed me if I'm doing something wrong or something like, I don't know, completely the nonsense. He would just, without saying anything, he just adjusts the problem and he kind of bring me to do what I'm supposed to be doing. And also as he say about the technique, the submissions, it's allowed me to work with my perfection on my submissions. I am very confident if I get someone's back or if I get someone's heel. My finish mechanics are pretty good because I train with them all the time.
You almost there? You almost got him?
When he allows me, yes. But it's hard.
It's tight heel hooks.
Okay. Let me ask you, how about women? Women in the sport. How can we get the sport to grow and for women to see the value in it and just open that door?
With women, I personally, I feel a little tricky still. Even in the gym, we have our training partners, our friends. Women are different because they get a little emotional. They get a little personal. When you try to do some, guys will try to kill each other, but after all, it's just training. For women, they kind of bring to the personal level. They kind of like, like after all, you feel a little uncomfortable. So I feel like to try to have the mindset a little bit more open about this is a sport. You have to be able to understand that on the mats you have to do what you have to do to work, and you need the other partner to be able to grow also. And after that, everybody's also family so try to, because women are always try to compete with each other no matter what, your hair, your nails, everything. So in Jiu-Jitsu it's not different.
I have two daughters, so I kind of
so I feel like if you try to be more welcoming, if you try to be more professional and say, listen, let's do like the boys, we'll train, we'll kill each other. After that, that's how it is. That's you can be ego. That's how I think the sport will grow more. Also, social media helps a lot. That's a lot of course it needs, and we need to have that type of fight on social media. It's healthy for the sport. But women should also support more each other. When you win, you don't see other girls much posting about, this girl won because she's part of one federation, on one team. If we want to grow this sport in a women's division, in my opinion, we should support more each other. Like try to listen, she won, that's great. That was something more. We use social media for more than just making fun or be sexy. I think that's the way I see it.
Awesome. Hey, lastly, I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think about this SubStar promotion? What brought you, or did you have any second thoughts when you received that SubStar contract to come and compete?
No, I'm always the kind of guy who's pretty active. For me, I like to compete as often as I can for a couple of reasons. Number one, just because I like being active. I don't like going long amounts of time, months at a time, where I don't compete, because then I feel like a little bit rusty when I have to go back to compete. So if I'm just constantly pushing myself to be uncomfortable and to hop onto the stage in front of thousands of people, it makes a big difference for me. That's why I wanted to do, even before ADCC, I hurt my knee, and I wanted to do that kinetic tournament before ADCC just to get back into the swing of things. So I like to stay active. Number two, just having my brand in people's face constantly. Gordon Ryan just signed this contract, Gordon Ryan just this, Gordon Ryan did that.
Yeah.
So all of the media outlets are always covering me, and I think it's a big thing for brand building. And number 3, obviously, I like to get money. So you know, I like making money. I like you know, showing up to compete. You know, I always teach seminars too, so I get like double dipping. I teach a seminar wherever I'm competing, so it usually works out well.
Awesome.
And I get to get out of shitty New York for a weekend or so. So I'm in beautiful Miami.
How's the weather up there right now?
It's pretty cold. It was like I think 19 or something, 18, 19 when we left. So it was cold.
Awesome. How about you, Nathalia? What do you think about this promotion?
Well, that was actually very great for me. Thank you so much. I think I just DM. I'll post on my stories. Hi guys, I'm looking forward to have some super fights soon. If anybody's interested, please let me know. And I don't know, I'm not just a blue belt. I'm just started. But they are super nice. Yeah, Nat, let's try to make something happen for you. They are super fast, and let's do it. Let's bring to the card. Why not? Gordon's gonna be there, you know, already. So it's gonna be a fun card for your opportunity. That was great. It worked out really great.
Awesome. We're looking forward to seeing you guys tonight. Nathalia, it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Gordon, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
All right.